Okay, before we get into this video, I forgot to mention this during the video itself, even though it was part of the point of me recording in the first place. My voice has been cloned by AI. It's happened a couple of times now. It's probably a pattern. It's almost certainly going to happen again. So this is also partly a PSA to let you know that if you hear my voice in a place where it's not, seems like it's not supposed to be, in a place where it'd be weird and uncharacteristic for my voice to appear, or saying some shit that sounds like stuff that I wouldn't normally say, please be careful and conscientious and critical of it, because it may very well be that it's just an AI clone of my voice saying that shit. If I show up in a mobile game ad for some fucking reason, if you see me hawking a crypto scheme somewhere weird and I sound a little bit off in my delivery, my voice has been cloned by AI. It's happened a few times before. It'll probably happen again. Please be careful and protect yourselves. Always check my main channels, my actual YouTube channels and my socials, to figure out what I do or do not endorse and what I am or am not saying. And don't get taken in by scammers and bullshit, I guess. Anyway, on to the video. Okay, so you've seen the title of the video. You know what this is about. My voice has been stolen by generative AI, and people on YouTube, I don't know how many, I don't know how much, I don't know how widespread it is, because these slop channels are impossible to track, but there are channels on YouTube that have been using an AI model that's trained on my voice, probably among others, to make slop-ass YouTube video essays and YouTube content. And that's not a lot of fun to sit with, to have to sit with that as a thing. And so I figure I was going back and forth about how much attention do I really want to give this, right? Do I want to draw attention to this shit? Because, like, I'm not the only one it's happened to. It happens to a lot of people, and it fucking sucks for all of us. It's not like it's especially bad for me. I'm a cis white guy. It's like, not like there are victims who have it worse, with their likeness in various ways being stolen by generative AI. But then I had the thought, if this shit is going to be out there, if people are going to be generating these fucking slop-ass garbage videos using my fucking voice, or something trained on my voice, at the very least, then I want to make some fucking ad revenue from it. Like, then at least I should make, like, a cent or two in ad revenue from that shit. So, in this video, I'm going to go through some of the instances of my voice being used, very much against my will, and we'll talk about them a little bit, about the circumstances and the context behind it. Now, in all of these cases, I became aware of these videos because someone found them somehow on YouTube and sent me an email saying, hey, that sounds a lot like you. Were you a part of this? Is this what's going on there? And I had to go and listen to it, and each time, at first, I listen to it and I go, I mean, I guess it sounds a bit like me, but surely it's not me. I have this, like, disbelief about it. And then as I listen to it more, and as I pay attention to the verbal posture, the way that the voiceover thing talks, the ways it pronounces certain words with an accent that's very similar to my weird mongrel accent of Danish and broad middle American guy who learned English from watching a lot of sitcoms on TV accent thing that I've got going the fuck on. And it starts to become like, that's me. That's I have listened to enough hours of my own voiceover while editing me that it starts to not really feel like speculation to say that I'm in there. Now, I'm not the only thing in these models, right? Like, when I say that AI has stolen my voice, it's not like, it doesn't seem like what anyone has done is put my voice into an AI model and say, generate a TB Skyen voice. What it seems like is that my voice is among a number of samples that are in these models, and it just so happens that my mannerisms tend to show through a lot. One of the things that the models, the clips I'm about to play here show, is the model keeps trying to make me more American. It keeps trying to make me sound a lot more American than I actually am, and the accent is all over the fucking place because of it. I think presumably because the model is made to replicate American voices, and then they feed my shit into it, and I don't have an American accent, really. I have like this halfway measure between American and Danish with a lot of weird idiosyncrasies. And so it ends up sounding odd. So it's not just my voice in there. Like whatever these models are trained on, it's me and a bunch of other shit, right? And as far as I can tell, it's not been targeted. Like, no one has tried to take my voice to impersonate me specifically. It doesn't seem like it's an attempt at identity theft or stealing my likeness. What seems to have happened in both of the cases that I'm going to show you is someone trained a model on a bunch of videos, right? Like maybe my shorts in some cases, maybe it's some of my video essays, whatever, maybe some of my reactions, who the fuck knows. And it's just male YouTuber voice. I think that's what the model is. It's like a model that's trained on male YouTubers, and I am one of the samples in its data set. That means that occasionally my voice is the one that comes through. It doesn't seem in either of these cases as though anyone was actively trying to impersonate me. Although, in the first case that I'm going to show you, it certainly felt a little bit like that, because if you don't know, over on my shorts channel, which is by far my biggest channel, I have about 700,000 subscribers now, and I do a bunch of shorts about Pokemon character design, and little hot takes about like the designs of every Pokemon from every generation, things like that. And they do pretty well. Like they are very well performing content for me. Some of them have like well over 1 million, 2 million views. So they're relatively popular. They're the sort of thing that would get hoovered up and put into an AI model. And so when I was sent these first ones, these are also shorts, and they are Pokemon related shorts, but they're shorts about Pokemon cards specifically. And they're from a channel. I'm not going to name them because I don't need anyone to go harass these people. And I do want to stress this up front. I don't need you to go seek any of this out. I don't need you to go and leave comments on it. I need you to not engage with it. I need this shit not to be rewarded with attention, first and foremost. And second of all, these specific videos, the shorts I'm going to show you here first, they are gone from YouTube. They were taken down because the channel that they're from is a channel that does Pokemon card content, right? And it's a guy who goes around to conventions and like makes videos about these cards are really valuable, or these like it's trading content, some content about like valuation of cards and things like that. He goes around to conventions, he trades cards and things like that. And in his regular YouTube videos, it's him on camera using his own regular voice, doing his own regular stuff. And he eventually, as part of his content strategy, contracted an editor and said, hey, I need shorts about Pokemon cards, and I'm going to write you some scripts for these things, and then I want you to like edit this together and do the voiceover and things like that. And what that editor had chosen to do, apparently, was use an AI model trained, at least in part, on my voice. And so a viewer sent me an email about this, confused, going like, is this you? Like, this sounds a lot like you, but it's not your channel. What's going on there? And I got in touch with this person. I sent him a very angry email in rather threatening language saying, hey, you need to take this shit down right the fuck now. And to his credit, the guy got back in touch with me. He was, I'm so fucking sorry. This was like, I hired an editor to make these shorts for me. I didn't know that he had done this. I thought he was just using a text-to-speech thing from like a reputable website, and he took them down immediately. There's been no more trouble, at least that I've seen. But I kept copies of these things just in case, you know, I would need them. And so here's one of them.
Quick fun facts. Curem Black EX Full Art from Boundaries Crossed isn't just visually stunning. It showcases the fusion of ice and fire in
the one of the things that tipped me off with this one is
fusion of ice and fire in it showcases
that I do that. It showcases I have that little inflection when I say a word like showcases. That's very much one of my inflections. That was one of the things I remember that like got me to go, oh, what, that's a lot like the way that I often say that word when I'm talking fast. Huh.
The fusion of ice and fire in striking detail, making it a must-have for fans of this legendary powerhouse.
But you can also hear whatever else is in there. My voice is one of the things. There's also other stuff. It's making me a lot more American, right?
Have for fans of this legendary powerhouse. Detail, making it a must-have for fans of this legendary powerhouse.
Legendary powerhouse. I wouldn't say legendary powerhouse. I would say that up there.
This legendary powerhouse.
Powerhouse. It's making me more American.
Glaceon LVLX, hailing from Majestic Dawn. This card boasts.
Hailing from Majestic Dawn.
a unique status.
A unique status. Like, it's making me more American.
It was one of the earliest cards to pair evolution elegance with game-changing power, setting a frosty tone for future Glacian releases.
Glacian releases. Like, it definitely is more than just me in there, but definitely my voice is in there.
From Supreme Victors. This value of a good spa day, and Articuno from Supreme Victors. This radiant card isn't just...
It also, this specific version also has a much lower verbal register than I do. Like, it's talking a lot more down here. It's being a lot more dramatic down in this register down here, where I tend to naturally vary my delivery, especially in my scripted content. I make an art, I make a science, I try to anyway, out of having my delivery sometimes lower register down here, and then occasionally I'll jump right up front. Like, I'll vary the cadence and my delivery and my energy across sentences, and like sometimes I'll talk very fast and I'll go real quick, and and the AI model obviously doesn't do that because the AI model doesn't have a sense of that, but it copies little bits.
The majestic artwork. It's part of a set celebrating legendary Pokemon in their prime.
Legendary Pokemon, that one, that little creak.
Set celebrating legendary Pokemon in
Pokemon on. I have that little creak in my voice sometimes, especially on like a higher thing when my voice swings up. I do that little creak, that little vocal fry there. That's one of my little verbal tics.
In their prime, cementing Articuno's status as the true winter.
But also you can hear the accent.
Cementing
rather than cementing. Cementing. That's a little Danish accent thing. It was strange. It was very strange.
Quick fun facts. Regis Goldstar. This elusive treasure from EX Legend Maker is one of the few Goldstar cards that showcases a legendary Pokemon mid-battle, with Regis leaping right off the icy battlefield into collectors' hearts.
It's also, it does my breaths. This is a weird thing to say.
Quick fun facts. Regis Goldstar. This elusive treasure from EX Legend Maker is one of the few Goldstar cards that showcases a legendary Pokemon mid-battle, with Regis...
Legendary Pokemon mid-battle. Like, that's how I take breaths. That is how, when I'm talking fast, when I'm trying to deliver a script in one, that's how I take a, that's the kind of, exactly the place that I would take a breath and then quickly launch into the next thing before I have actually finished taking that breath. I do, it's the little things. Like, it's not just that the voice superficially sounds like me, it's that because I've been listening to my own delivery and my own voiceover for hundreds, if not thousands of hours at this point, the little tics, the little behaviors, the little verbal fucking whatevers that are in there, that the model is copying, that are so familiar to me that I don't... It's freaky. It freaks me out. It freaks me out to hear that.
Just leaping right off the icy battlefield into collectors' hearts. Rocket's Articuno EX. This dark and powerful version of Articuno from EX Team Rocket Returns has a wicked twist. It's one of the few cards that combine legendary grace with Team Rocket's devious flair.
It's so uncanny, right? Because it's copying me, but it's doing a bad job because it's copying me and it's layering elements of my voice over that AI voice cadence, right? Like, you know the AI voice cadence because it's something that shows up absolutely everywhere in all of these fucking AI voiceovers, right? That it has this specific way of ending a sentence.
Grace with Team Rocket's devious flair.
Team Rocket's devious flair, right? Like, it has a very specific cadence to it and a specific way that it doesn't vary its tempo and the specific way that it ends its sentences. Like, it's that AI voice thing that's so consistent and recognizable about these fucking voices, but then my voice on top of it. It's so...
Ice Rider Calyrex V Max Alt Art. This breathtaking artwork from Chilling...
I mean, one thing I'll say for it, it mispronounces Pokemon names almost as much as I do.
Rain doesn't just feature Calyrex, it tells a story of icy dominance with its frozen steed galloping across a snow-covered kingdom. And PSA 10 Lapras First Edition Fossil Hollow, a gem of the ocean. This card in PSA 10 is so rare and pristine that owning it feels like capturing a piece of Pokemon history sealed in time. Follow for more interesting fun facts.
Yeah, no, fuck off. And by the way, again, I didn't actually intend to show the guy's branding on screen, because again, I don't need you to go to harass this person. We talked it out, they deleted it, they got rid of it. As far as I know, they've never done anything else like it. This seems to have been an honest mistake from hiring someone probably for a lot less money than they should have been paid, who just went and got an AI generated voice thing to do their shit. So that was the first time it happened. That is a couple of years ago now that happened, and it was sent to me. And I made note of it. I didn't make a huge deal out of it at the time because I was like, okay, this has happened one time. It seems to have been one guy. Maybe that one guy just took some of my voice clips and fed them into an AI generator and then used because I make Pokemon shorts. They searched for popular Pokemon shorts. They took like some voice samples of my voice and fed them into this fucking AI generator thing and generated a model, and then they used that, and maybe that was the end of it, right? Like that was all that it was. So I didn't really make it a big deal out of it. I think I blocked about it a little bit. But then here the other day, a couple of days ago, I got another email, and this time it was something different. This time it was a video essay channel, essentially, a AI slop video essay channel, which is using AI-generated scripts with AI-generated voiceover, AI-generated thumbnails, AI-generated descriptions, and as far as I can tell, also generative AI editing, which is a thing that you can do with, like, I think Premiere Pro, which is the program I'm using right now, actually has those features in it. And specifically, it's videos about Castlevania. Now, the interesting thing about this channel is I've kept an eye on them, and they posted other videos that are clearly using completely different. Like, it's not like the whole channel is using my voice everywhere. They use different voices for various different videos. I found 3 that sound like my voice is a major component of the model that's trained on, and then some other ones that doesn't sound anything. Like, that sounds like presumably stolen from some fucking other poor motherfucker who's had their shit jacked by this nonsense. And this one is a slightly more sophisticated one, because I did not hear it at first. It took a while before I started to hear it, but
Dracula had everything. He had infinite wealth. He had eternal life. He had the power to raise armies and burn kingdoms to the ground. He could have lived in a palace made of gold. He could have had 1,000 servants waiting on his every need, but he chose to live in nothing. His castle is not a fortress.
His castle is not a fortress. Again, I start to recognize these little verbal tics of mine, right? Like these little modes of expression, these little modes of pronunciation that I have start to poke through.
Not a palace. It is an empty shell. No furniture. No paint.
But it's also, again, much more American, right?
It is not a palace. It is an empty shell.
Shell. And you can hear the AI.
Had 1,000 servants waiting on his every need, but he chose to live in nothing. His castle is not a fortress. It is not a palace. It is an empty shell.
It is an empty shell. Like that specific cadence of it is and thing on thing. That is so me. That is very me. That's I do that. That's a cadence of delivering a thing from it is like it is to. And again, I'm not what I'm not saying at any point in this video is that I am the only person on earth who could ever possibly use these verbal tics or use this verbal posture or deliver things this way. Obviously not. And again, I think especially this model and the ones that are used for these Castlevania videos, these slop video essays, is definitely trained on more than me. It's not just me in there. There's other stuff going on, but I recognize little habits.
No furniture, no paintings, no carpets, no signs that any human being has ever lived there. Just cold stone and endless shadow.
And here you can hear, like, now it's sort of shifting out. This is where I think there's multiple video essayist voices in there, and it sort of fades in and out between them, where sometimes it sounds a lot more like me and sometimes it sounds a lot more like someone else.
And that is not an accident. That is a choice. Today, we are not talking about vampires. We are not talking about revenge. We are talking about depression. We are talking about what happens when you lose.
We're talking about what happens. Like, and now it gets more southern for some reason. Like
everything that makes life worth living, and how a man who cannot die builds himself a prison out of stone and shadow. This castle is not his home. It is his suicide note.
It is his suicide note. And you can hear the AI writing in it as well, right? Like, it is not X, it's Y, or it's not Y, it's C, or like whatever. Like that little thing of like, it's not this but that, not this but that, not this but that. That thing is all over the scripts for these things, and they're fucking unbearable. Like, they're terrible essays also, because of course they're written by AI. It's not someone. This is not someone who wrote a script. Like, because that's what I think happened with the shorts that we were looking at. I think the scripts were written by the actual person.
Combine legendary grace with Team Rocket's devious flair. Ice Rider Calyrex VMAX Alt Art. This breathtaking artwork from Chilling Reign doesn't just feature Calyrex, it tells a story of icy dominance with...
But there's definitely AI traits in there, right? Like it doesn't just do this, it does that. That's also an AI thing. Not this, but that. Like, not only, but also, right? Like, that's very much an AI thing, right?
Breathtaking artwork from Chilling Reign doesn't just feature Calyrex, it tells a story of icy dominance.
Like, this artwork doesn't just feature Calyrex, it tells a story of, like, icy dominance. That's very much an AI thing. But I think to a much greater extent, like, I think it was probably a script that the channel owner probably wrote, or at least wrote some notes, and then that was fed into an AI model that sort of tried to write around it. Not so much for this thing.
No warm candles. Just harsh black and white. Half the room is pure darkness. The other half is blinding white. There are no grays. No middle ground. That is exactly how his mind works now. There is only pain, and the absence of pain, which is just nothingness. He did not decorate this castle to impress anyone. He decorated it to feel nothing.
He did not this, but that. He did not decorate this castle to impress anyone. He decorated it to feel nothingness. Like that juxtaposition of two things over and over again. And you can really see the AI editing in this thing as well, right?
Lighting. There is no soft light, no warm...
The script says there's no soft light.
Warm candles.
No warm candles. That's what the script says, right? But then it uses a screenshot from the show where there is soft light and warm candles. And the reason it does this is because the AI editing software is just looking for, okay, this frame, the script contains these keywords. Okay, this frame seems like it contains the things that the keywords are talking about. And so it just throws up whatever in its database matches the keywords in the script, but it doesn't understand context. So you get these things like...
Read. He dug up the garden where she planted flowers. He wants nothing left that will make him remember. And look at the lighting. There is no soft light, no warm candles.
Yeah, no, sure. That's what that's what you can tell from this specific screenshot. It proves it. There's no soft light. No soft light. This is harsh light. Look at it. Wow, it's so harsh. It's not soft at all. And there are no candles anywhere in the fucking room. Oh my god. It's so I have to laugh at it.
To forget that he was ever human, that he ever loved anyone, and the castle is the perfect mirror for that empty soul. The most terrifying thing about this castle is not the night creatures. It is the silence. It is the emptiness.
Right, and you can see here that I guess because it didn't have a screenshot, like I suspect this is also fully AI generated, this split, because AI models can do that now. They can generate things that have like actual realistic text on them because they've been combined with text generators. And they can combine combine these two screenshots in order to make a point. And I just maybe this is a screenshot from the show. I don't know. I don't think so, but who knows? But then over here we have just AI generated slop.
Those endless halls that stretch on forever.
And the juxtaposition means nothing, right? Cliche versus empty. Okay.
Those ceilings that are 50 feet high. You feel tiny. You feel insignificant. You feel like you are being crushed by nothing. This is sensory deprivation. Pure and simple. Dracula has designed his home to be the most psychologically oppressive place on Earth.
Give more AI-generated juxtaposition slop, right? And I don't know if these are in there just to serve as, for YouTube to grab as thumbnails for the video automatically, just in case, because whoever's running this channel, they're not doing shit. They're not doing jack shit, right? And one thing I should say about these channels, again, this is not targeted at me in any way, shape, or form, because what these channels do is they make 5,000 YouTube accounts, and then they just have AI scripts just spitting out just over and over again, here's the keywords, and you hone in on this market, and you cover these topics, and then this channel gets flooded with these AI generated video essays. It was literally putting out, the channel when I found it, a video every 2 days or so, which is 20 minutes long, and it's all fucking AI script, it's all AI editing, it's just getting churned out on an assembly line by computers that are just running these AI models, generating, and the whole point of it is not for any one of those videos to actually go viral or be good enough to get any attention. The point of them is to just sit in the big barrel of content, and just occasionally YouTube's algorithm will pick one of them to serve to someone as a recommendation, and just occasionally someone will click on it and sit through the pre-roll ad, and maybe like one of the mid-roll ads within the first minute of the actual video or whatever, and the video will get like 2 fractions of a cent out of that. And then, like, within the span of, like, however long it has in the algorithm to live, which is maybe a month or so, it'll make 30 cents. It'll make maybe $1 if they're very, very lucky. It'll make, like, barely anything. But because there's hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of these fucking slop videos all sitting there collecting half of a cent, 2 cents, 10 cents, one of them maybe gets $1. And because there's so many of them, you can make a small stream of income out of just spamming this shit relentlessly into the algorithm, right? And YouTube has systems that combat this, like that look for channels that are just spamming low-value content, and they deprioritize them, or they straight up delete them for posting unoriginal content, right? Like, and I believe they have some AI moderation things about this, because, and that's not YouTube doing it out of the goodness of their heart, they're doing that to preserve the value of the advertising dollar. Because if advertisers think that advertising on YouTube means that their ads gets put next to cheap, boring slop garbage like this, then advertisers are not going to want to pay for those advertising slots, and YouTube's ad revenue crashes. That's one of the very few ways in which YouTube is actually aligned in their incentives with YouTube creators, is both we and YouTube do have a direct interest in the content on YouTube being, like, not that YouTube is the home of high quality content, but of it being at least better than AI slop. Right, like, the baseline of YouTube content should not be associated with this. It should be associated with HBomber Guy, right? It should be associated with, like, shit that brings in millions of views, and which has high production value, and which is, like, valuable for advertisers to put their product next to it. It should have some prestige, right? And AI slop doesn't have that. So YouTube has a direct incentive to remove it, but in addition to that, they also now, because of Google's own investments in Meta and all that fucking AI bullshit that they're working on, Google also has its own AI models that it's trying to pump, right? It's trying to pump the value of its own AI models. So AI-generated content slop on YouTube, Google wants that to be generated with their content slop machines. Like, that's fundamentally, that's what they want. They don't want it to be generated by anyone else's AI slop machines, because that only accumulates value to their AI product, not to Google's. And so there's this push and pull internally at Google, as there is at pretty much every corporation right now, between the people who give a shit about the product that they're actually making versus the people who are trying to pump the latest fucking pump and dump scheme, which is generative AI, right? So it's an odd thing. But that's the content strategy of these channels, is they pump out, let me pull up another one. They pump out hundreds or thousands of these shit garbage YouTube AI slop videos, as many of them as they can, as quickly as they can possibly make them, and they dump them into the algorithm, and they leech just a couple of cents off here and there and here and there and here and there. And then, because it's one person who's running like 1,000 of these fucking things, they can get a few $100s out of that, or enough to make like a portion of rent, or even make quite a good living if you have enough of an operation. Like, if you have, because like there are companies where it's like dozens of people sitting in like one office in some country where you can afford to barely pay your employees anything, just pumping this shit out in the tens of thousands on, and not just on YouTube, on TikTok, on Instagram, on any platform that can be monetized. Facebook, oh god, there's so much of it on Facebook. Where the whole strategy, right, and the whole thing that AI is built to enable, because like the lie of AI is, oh, it allows you to unlock your creativity and create higher quality creative work than you've ever done before. And that's not what it does. What AI structurally incentivizes, and what it does and what it's good at, is not creating higher quality work more consistently with a more consistent vision. What it's good at is pumping out as much barely passable bullshit as possible, as fast as possible. That's what it's good at.
I'm going to tell you the darkest secret in all of Castlevania. A secret the writers never said out loud, but built every single scene around. Hector was never forced to forge night creatures. He was broken on purpose, because only a man who has absolutely nothing left can breathe infernal life into cold steel. Everyone remembers the scene. Hector chained to the dungeon, beaten, starved, humiliated. Lenore slipping that ring on his finger and taking away every last bit of his freedom. Everyone calls it abuse.
Also, some more AI fucking hallmarks is like everyone remembers this scene. Everyone calls it abuse. Like, these broad declarations of everyone knows, everyone thinks, everyone remembers. That's so fucking AI writing.
Everyone calls it manipulation, and it is. But it's also so much more than that. It was a ritual.
Right, and again, it is this, but this, right? Like, so it is, but it's also, right, like that, it's this, but that, it's this, but that, is this, and this. It, like, fucking AI.
A necessary sacrifice, the final step in turning a man into a forge. Today, we're tearing back the curtain on devil forging. It's not about spells. It's not about incantations. It's about pain. The deeper the pain, the stronger the monster.
And yeah, there was 3 essays on that channel that I could sit through enough to find elements of my voice in it. And they were pumping out more, just like constantly pumping out more to sort of try and optimize their relevancy in the algorithm. Now, the channel in question had 83 subscribers, so it's not like anyone was making a lot of money off of my voice there. And the videos had less than 100 views on average. One of them had 2,300 views. That was the most popular one. It was not featuring my voice. I guess my voice doesn't really get them that many views. So what now? What now? What do I do about this? Well, I don't do fucking shit. I do nothing. Because there's nothing I can do. Because I could tell you all to go mass report that channel and get it taken down. That would probably be pretty easy, because it would only take a few hundred, and then the automated systems would kick in, and the channel would get shut down. And what would it matter? Because whoever is operating that fucking slop channel is operating a dozen more, 100 more, 1,000 more, pumping out videos, all with AI-generated voiceover. Maybe some of them have my voice in them. Maybe a bunch of them have voices from other YouTube essayists who've gotten sucked into this bullshit. And taking down one of them does nothing. It doesn't disincentivize the behavior, because losing one channel doesn't mean anything to them. One channel is like 5 cents a month, right? Because that doesn't matter. Shutting down one of them doesn't matter. It wouldn't get me access to the person who's doing this. I wouldn't be able to sue them directly or personally in any way, because they'll just lie to YouTube about who they are, and that's very easy to do. That's not really a problem, and even if I could find out who they are, odds are that where they are based is a country in which it would be extremely expensive to try and run a legal case, and in the best case scenario, I wouldn't get anything out of it. I wouldn't make any fucking money from it. I wouldn't get any compensation, and I don't really believe in punitive justice that much. I don't want the person who ran this shit to get thrown in jail, particularly. How the fuck is that supposed to help me? That doesn't make me happy. That doesn't redress my problem if the person who made these slop videos got thrown in jail. The thing that would redress my problem is if we fucking did something about this fucking technology. The thing that would redress my problem is if using this technology became unacceptable. Not necessarily illegal, because, again, I don't really know that punitive justice is, like, that punishment and fines and shit is going to do much about this. But at the very least, that the companies responsible for making the tools that allow people to steal other people's voices so easily could expect to go to jail for it. Could expect to be fined for it. Could expect to see some consequence for it. The companies. I don't give a shit about throwing a person in jail that much. Unless it's a CEO, because the only people on Earth who are actually scared of these kinds of consequences are billionaires and millionaires. It's the rich people are scared of going to jail. The rich people are scared, but the person who runs a channel like this, the people who run these kinds of AI harvesting scams, where they are harvesting fractions of a cent across hundreds of channels, they're not fucking rich, generally. Most of them are underpaid, if anything, working for someone else who makes all of the money from these kinds of scam operations. Like, the person actually running the thing probably gets paid less than minimum wage. Right? Like, they're not fucking rich, and getting rid of them doesn't do anything. So there's nothing I can do about it. That channel, and however many others, are using an AI model trained on my voice among hundreds of others. There's nothing I can do about it. I can't do anything. The few things I can do are largely symbolic and meaningless and won't do anything to address the structural problem. And so what I've had to sort of come to terms with over the past few days is that this is going to happen again. And it's going to happen again. And it's going to happen again. And I don't think this will happen, but if the dice roll the wrong way somewhere, if I get cosmically unlucky one time, then what's going to happen is that I'm going to wake up in a world where my voice is associated with AI slop, where my voice is one of the voices that people recognize from 1,000 slop clips on TikTok and Instagram Reels and Facebook and fucking wherever, where my voice is the one that's being used to voice these low-effort, low-quality shitpost garbage, slop-ass video essays. My voice becomes associated with that. And then people hear my actual real-life voice coming out of my own fucking head and go, oh, you're the AI slop guy, aren't you? You're the voice that's being used in all those slop video essays. You're the voice that's being used in all that slop content. Yours is the slop voice. And I'm going to be associated with that in the same way that the TikTok lady who like generated the original voiceover for the TikTok text-to-speech thing is associated with that now forever, and who didn't make a fucking cent or a penny or a dollar out of her voice being used to generate those billions of dollars in revenue and value. That's the worst case scenario for me, is that if I am very, very unlucky, if it just so happens that the AI model that generates this shit with my voice becomes the popular one that a lot of people use for this bullshit, then my voice is going to become part of the backdrop of the internet. My voice is going to become the thing that people think about when they think, oh yeah, slop content, that's that guy. That sounds like that guy. That's that accent. That's those little verbal tics. That's those little vocal habits. That's that specific way of pronouncing things. That's AI slop. And that's going to be on me for the rest of my fucking life. Well, hopefully not. Hopefully it'll die and like it won't be relevant, but that's... I'm going to get people whose first impression of my actual YouTube channel, my actual work, my actual videos, is going to be, oh, that guy's using the AI voiceover. I mean, it sounds a little bit different. Maybe it's a more advanced model, but that's AI voiceover. I know that because I've heard a bunch of other AI videos that sound exactly fucking like him. I already get those accusations sometimes, right? Because everyone does. Everyone, oh, that's you kind of... Has anyone ever told you kind of sound like AI? Everyone gets that sometimes because people don't know what the fuck AI sounds like. They don't know what generative AI looks like. They don't know what generative AI sounds like. They don't know what generative AI writing reads like. They don't know that shit. They just sort of assume that they know magically and instinctually. But people can't recognize that shit instinctually. And that's my problem, right? People are not going to know the fucking difference between me and these fucking things. They're not going to know. And if I'm very, very unlucky, I might be the guy who becomes Mr. AI voiceover without ever having so much as touched one of these models myself in my life. And I've kind of had to sit with that for a few days now. That's just, like, not a reasonably likely possibility, but a possibility. A thing that can just happen to me. Because I have a moderately popular YouTube channel, and I make a bunch of video essays, and something hoovered up a bunch of clips of my voice at some point, and used them for their fucking AI model, and now, for the rest of my life, pretty much, I'm gonna have to worry that someone somewhere is gonna make a piece of shit bit of garbage content, or I'm gonna get an ad for some fuck-ass mobile game on TikTok, and it's gonna be an ad that's generated with my fucking voice by some slop-ass advertising company. For the rest of my life, that's pretty much just... I'm gonna have to worry about that. I'm gonna have to worry about if I ever get doxxed, which is like, that's a thing that reasonably could happen, that my family is going to get a phone call from a phone number that they don't recognize, and when they answer the phone, it's going to be my voice on the other end of it, speaking English for some reason, even though normally I speak Danish with my family. asking them, "Hey, I'm in trouble and I need a lot of money. Could you please send that money to this PayPal account or send it to me via phone thing or a phone payment app or whatever?" And they're going to try and use my voice to scam my family. That's a thing that's happened to other people as well. I'm going to have to worry about that now. I'm going to have to get ready for getting a lot more emails in my inbox from people going, "Hey, I think someone's stealing your voice. I think someone's stealing your voice. I think someone's stealing your voice. I think someone's stealing your voice." That's just something that's being done to me. That's just being done to me. Because AI is the future. It's the future. It's inevitable. Oh, everyone has to learn to work with AI. We're all going to have to get used to it. It's the future. We have to learn to work with the technology. We can't resist it. It's the future. We've already decided that it's the future. It's inevitable. It's going to happen. Everyone's going to have to work with AI. Everyone's going to have to work with it. This is being... My voice got stolen from me and used for that fucking garbage that we've been watching. That just got done to me. And I have no recourse. There's nothing I can do. There's no course of action I can take to forestall this. I can do nothing to prevent this from happening. There's no reasonable action I can take as an individual. I need states to act, basically. I need governments to act in order to have a hope in hell of anything being done about this. And, like, I don't want to sit here and pretend like it's the hardest on me. This is obviously not. Like, there are women out there having Grok generate them tits out, or spreading their legs, or being raped by animals, or fucking whatever. There are children out there who are being sexually assaulted by these fucking generative AI models that are undressing them and giving their pictures to pedophiles. Like, I don't have it the hardest. Not by a long shot. Not by a million miles. Because I'm a cis white guy. Right? So I'm never going to have it the hardest under any circumstances, in any situation. Never. Not in a million years. So I'm not saying that. What I am saying is this is violating. Is what it is. This is violating. I have spent many years now trying to hone my voice as my instrument. Trying to get good at delivering voiceover. Trying to find a voice that's mine, uniquely, that would identify me and be like, "Oh, that voice, I've heard that before. Yeah, that guy. He sounds like that." Like, some people like my voice, some people hate it. That's normal, that's fine, I don't mind that. But I've spent a long time developing this shit. These are skills that I developed for my voice to make it do what I want. So I could deliver the scripts and, like, the things I do in my way. And it's just being taken away from me. This isn't mine anymore. Now there's an AI model that can generate something that sounds 80% like it. Give it 5 years, and probably they can do a 100% accurate voice clone that doesn't try and make me sound Southern or more American. And it's just taken from me. That uniqueness, all of the benefits of all of the hours, the years that I've sunk into making my voice mine for, like, again, whether you think my voice is good or bad, I go back and forth on that on a daily basis. But it is mine. I made it. I put this shit together. I put in the effort to make my accent as weird as it is, and make my pronunciations as specific as they are. I put in the effort it took to develop those little habits, those little tics. I did that. Me, I did it. It's my fucking work. And someone just took it from me and started using it to generate the most heinous, garbage-ass, fucking shitty Castlevania video essays in the world, and God knows how many other shit-ass videos about whatever shit-ass topics. And they used my voice to do it. And that's fucking violating. It makes me feel gross. It makes me feel like something's being taken from me against my will, because someone else thought it would be funny. Or because someone else didn't give a shit about my humanity. Didn't give a shit about the fact that I'm a person. They just took it because they saw something there. They didn't even think about it, I'm sure. Like, they just said to an AI model, hey, go find relatively popular video essay voice, YouTube, make no mistakes, Claude, program, automatic, generate model to make video essay, fast, make no mistakes, click enter button, fuck you. They didn't even think about it. Without a second thought, without a moment of concern, without even considering for a moment what it means, what their behavior, how it affects anyone, they just did it. And there's nothing I can do about it. I can't even really be angry about it because I know there's no point. What am I being angry at? Who am I being angry at? Sam Altman, I guess. But that's just inevitable now. It's the future. Just have to get used to it. Everyone's going to have to get used to it. All the time, everywhere. This is just going to be reality forever for everyone now. Sure, we just have to get used to that. Fuck you. Like I said, I try to keep a structural mind about this. That, like, whoever's doing this, they're not making a lot of money on it. They're not getting rich off of my voice. I'm not even getting rich off of my voice. Because it's slop content, right? Like, it's lowest common denominator. They're just churning out as much bullshit as possible, using whatever means are available to them in order to make what probably passes for less than minimum wage. Right? Like, maybe a few wealthy owners of, like, hundreds of thousands who can afford to pay a few people to run this shit for them and skim off all the excess, like the fucking parasite rent seekers that they are. Maybe they make a living off of this. Maybe they make a chunk of money off of this. Maybe they do. Maybe there's a few people that we could, you know, inflict justice on, maybe. But we'll never know who they are. And the actual person running the channel, the actual person pressing the button to make the thing, they probably make nothing. And what's the point in getting mad at them? And yet I am. And yet I am fucking mad at them. And yet I am fucking like, what the fuck is wrong with you that this is how you spend your life? Making shit that is so worthless and so bad and so shitty and so transparently shallow. And you chose to spend your time doing that out of all the things you could. Was there not one job scrubbing toilets? Could you not have the self-respect to be a sex worker? Like, and I say that with full respect to sex workers. Like, sex work is honorable labor. Scrubbing toilets is important honorable labor. Sex workers and people who, like, clean toilets have contributed infinitely more to society and to the well-being of their fellow man than a fucking AI CEO has ever done or ever will in their entire life. I don't know. I mean, it's... I just feel fucked up about this. I feel fucked up knowing that I could turn on YouTube tomorrow and my voice is coming out of some bullshit. My voice is being used to say some heinous garbage. Some neo-Nazi tomorrow could decide to use my voice to make fascist videos about race supremacy or whatever. They could just do that now. Because AI is inevitable. And I don't get a say. So yeah, it's funny. It's funny how bad these videos are. It's funny how bad these essays are. But it's... I laugh at it only because... what else is there to do? What else is there to do? I feel some fucking type of way about this. I really do. They reached into my throat and they just took it. 'Cause they could. because no one was going to stop them, and because AI is the future. Because AI is the future, that means everything is up for grabs. Everything is up for financialization. Everything is an asset that can be converted to fucking money. Every person, your body, your appearance, your voice, everything you make, everything you've ever made, all of it is just a financial asset for someone else to exploit. Because AI is the future and AI is inevitable. Hooray. I hope the people who are pushing this technology die of natural causes at the end of a long and happy life, surrounded by their friends and loved ones. That's what I hope.